Excuse me.
Can you recording the meeting?
Okay, great. Thank you, Aaron.
Yeah, I just want to let you know. Thank you.
Awesome.
Perfect. All right, wonderful. Okay, all right, great. So thank you all for joining us today. This is, as I was mentioning, if you listened in just a few moments ago, we were saying this is our last event for the semester over at Cal State Fullerton, but we will be continuing in the fall term. For those of you who are new to joining us today, my name is Philip Stinnes. I'm the manager of the Cal State Fullerton Startup Incubator. We've been helping startups for the past 8 years. We've actually helped out about 80 startups since our inception. And what we focus in on is more the lean startup methodology. For those people who are not familiar with that terminology, it's understanding who your customer is and understanding how you're going to go to market before even, thank you, Tony, before even creating your business. So lean, meaning that we're going to save you money by not investing on all those things that you think people want, but we're actually going to go through and validate it. And there's a systematic approach to it, as Tony was just showing the book. This process was coined by Eric Ries. And it is the now de facto way of starting up a business. It's a much faster way of getting into business, getting into revenue, and really validating your product market fit. So if you'd like to learn more about us, and I'm going to go ahead and put our information in the chat, and we can chat a little bit more offline. But with that, I will go ahead and hand it over to Tony. So Tony, please tell us a little bit more about you and take it from here.
Sounds good. Thanks, Philip. Yeah, welcome everybody to your lunch hour. Feel free to eat. I'm going to be drinking my tea while we go through this today. So enjoy yourselves. Well, let's go ahead and I want to start with this. So the first thing I want you guys to do is think about why you guys are here. There's a couple things. You guys are entrepreneurs, and as an entrepreneur, you're probably here for knowledge. But one thing that's probably even more important than knowledge is your network. You'll find that being an entrepreneur is a people business, and there's a bunch of people that are here for one reason or another, and you guys have similar interests to each other, right? You guys want to become successful entrepreneurs, and maybe some of you are here to support and make other entrepreneurs successful. So there's already a common interest amongst all of you. And what I have found in my whole career is it's the people that have given me the opportunities for different things in my life. So we're gonna take 5 minutes right now. Actually, I'm gonna bump this. We'll start at 12, maybe 07. But I want you to click chat down the very bottom, and then click everyone here in the bottom right. You can click everyone, and I want you to introduce yourselves, right? So when I say introduce yourself, you can talk about who you are, but a couple of things. Tell us where you're from. I want to know, what is your CX experience? So 1 to 5. How much experience do you guys have in customer experience design or planning or management? Also, write down what you're hoping to learn today. So go into the chat, type in what you're hoping to learn. And probably most importantly, what do you guys need for your business? Are you looking for a co-founder? Are you looking for someone to help you with the tech? Are you looking for an advisor? Are you looking for an investment? Are you looking for money? What are you looking for your business? Do you need help with a pitch? Do you need help with your planning? Put that into the chat right now so we can all kind of understand why we're all here and how we can help each other out. And lastly, feel free to put in your LinkedIn profile so you can get connected with this community people who are on the call. And lastly, people help people. So if you're looking for help, turn on your video. One of the best ways to get to know each other is not just by looking at these white names on this black screen, but to see the face, right? I see Alfredo's face, at least I see a picture there, right? I see Janine's face, which is great, but turn your video on, get to know each other, build the community, build your network. Okay, I see 0 in the chat, you guys. So I'm assuming there's nothing you guys need. Are you guys paying attention, you guys? Hey.
You said you needed a few minutes, so we need a few minutes to type.
Oh, Priscilla, okay, good, thank you. Yeah, so feel free to go into the chat, and I'll give you guys, we'll start at 12:09, so I'll give you guys 3 minutes. I'll put my LinkedIn there in as well, and maybe I'll put in something that I need for my businesses. So go ahead and take 3 minutes, and let's go ahead and do that right now. All right, John, I'm gonna do what I can as far as meaning in life. Let's see. All right, this is good. Let's see. Philip here, he wants to learn, help startups. He wants to help new startups. Hello, India Whaley. You're from South Carolina. Oh, awesome. Let's see. Learn about customer validation process. Okay, that's good. Today will be more of a customer experience introduction. I'm going to show you how we use our dose method. So maybe a little validation, not too much validation today. Aaron from Temecula, hello. My friends just bought some property out in Temecula, so I'll probably be heading out there pretty soon. Okay, you're gonna learn, we'll give you an intro to CX today, which is great. Hello, Adam. Hello, Ashwin. You're from LA. Street Stop, build platform clients, GPS and payments. It's grown considerably. Okay. Congratulations on your, angel investors reach out. If you're trying to find the right investors, I think Philip can probably help with that.
Mm-hmm.
What's up, Alfredo? You're a Titan as well. Hello. Customer service, good. Monica, hello, from Palm Springs. I'm definitely looking forward to doing that hike up to the top of the mountain up there one day. Maybe I'll drag Philip out there and we'll go do that hike.
Absolutely.
Tony from Newport Beach. We're just down the Struming Costa Mesa. Yeah, maybe we can grab a coffee sometime if there's a reason for us to connect. Okay, business skills as a freelancer. Okay, good. Danielle, what type of freelancer are you? What type of freelancer? Put that in there so people know what kind of work you're doing.
Yeah, so I work in hair and makeup. So I'm a hair and makeup freelancer.
Awesome. All right, good. Yeah, put that in there so people know what you do.
Okay.
All right, excellent. Okay, this is good. So yeah, take a moment, click on the LinkedIn profiles. If you guys get bored with my conversation, you guys can go in and chat with each other on LinkedIn or in the chat bot. So this is great. All right, I'm going to go ahead and start diving in. So let's say,
Tony, you said you want to help. You want passionate people to build tech brands. Any particular skill level or anything in particular on that one?
I will. So this is my new client. You guys recognize this guy?
Yeah, this is Optimus Prime.
This is Optimus Prime. So we just signed these guys as a client. We're helping them launch these products to market, and I need people who can help with the marketing of the product and also the creation of all the touch points along the customer journey. So all the stuff we're going to be talking about today, if you guys can help me strategically or from a creative standpoint, hit me up. I need help. We're hiring. I just posted a job today or last night.
Wow, amazing.
So we are hiring. Yeah, we're hiring. All right, cool. So let's say it's Friday at 11 a.m. Logically, what should you guys be doing? You guys are entrepreneurs, you're business people. It's Friday, 11 a.m. What should you be doing? Go ahead and put in the chat. What are some things you should be doing logically on Friday at 11 a.m.? Like this Friday at 11 a.m. What should you be doing? Finalizing schedule, right? Maybe being at work, maybe studying. Well, something you shouldn't be doing is what I was doing a couple years ago during March Madness, going to a college basketball game. So here I am at a University of California, Irvine, anteater basketball game. I'm here with business owners, entrepreneurs, venture capitalists, parents. Mostly half these people are parents of young children. However, it's Friday, 11 a.m. and we're at a basketball game and there's no children in sight. All right. So the main point I'm trying to make here is logic is trumped by emotion. And that's what we're going to be talking about today. So my background is I went to UC Irvine. I was a biology major. I was pre-med. I took the MCATs. I used to do brain surgery on live rats. So playing with rats a little bit, studied psychology, and that's kind of my background. And then I decided to take a year off. Actually, my dad told me to take a year off before I went back into school. And I said, hey, I'm gonna go and try my hand at being an artist. So I loved graffiti art. When I was in high school and junior high, I was part of a crew. We go bombing all the time. So I had a passion for doing street art and graffiti art. So I said, I'm gonna go and be an artist for a year. And I did canvases and murals. And I ended up starting a business and following this passion of art and design. And I did not follow my career path. And I don't know if you guys have realized it, but graffiti is not a career path. It's a path of passion. So I'm assuming a lot of you are going through the same thing. You guys are following some sort of passion that's inside of you. And from that passion, you are developing a way to solve problems, to help people, to create a product, to create a service, to build a business that's going to go out and make some people say thank you. So that I was in your position, 30 years ago, trying to figure out what I was going to do with this new passion path called entrepreneurship. So since that time, I did start a business. I was doing graffiti art, but it's transitioned over the years. It's a long story, but I started to build and work on marketing technology brands. And that's kind of where I still am today. As you can tell, now we're doing Optimus Prime robots. But with this, 30 years of experience in following my passion path as an entrepreneur, what I'm going to talk to you about today is really this process that we have used to market tech brands, to create and manage and optimize customer experiences. And what I want you to see here, this is my core team. We work with about 20 people a month to execute these campaigns and these experiences for our clients. But really, this is my core team. What I want you to see here is it's a small team, and most of them are creative. So we have strategists, creative director, product designer, outbound marketing. So what I'm going to talk about today is really a creative exercise, and it's really taking a look at customer experience from a creative perspective. The type of clients, this works across all industries. Even though our specialty is focused on technology brands, we've worked for companies like Delimex, which is a Mexican food company, the University of California, Irvine, Coors, G4S, which is an insurance company, Urban Decay, which is a cosmetics line. So this process does work across multiple industries. So even though we work with some of the biggest brands in the world, my heart is still with entrepreneurship. So I'm still very involved with the entrepreneurship community. I'm a judge over at UC Irvine to give away big checks. We would give away $40,000 a year to entrepreneurs just like you guys to come up with new product ideas. And I've started about 7 companies, and I had 1 successful exit, and I had 6 crash and burn. So entrepreneurship, even though it's there are some wins out there, it's the success rate is very low. Since that time, I've gotten involved in doing some angel investing. So these are 4 companies where my company has an angel investment position in. So we have equity stakes in these 4 companies. So pay attention, because there's gonna be a quiz. There's company A, which is a life sciences company, and they are trying to cure these big diseases for the world using technology. They launched out a Y Combinator, the summer batch of a couple years ago. Company B is called Lexi Smart Home. They're competing against Google and Apple and the Amazon Smart Home competitors, and they would launch successfully on Kickstarter. Company C is, if you guys are gamers, you guys know about SSDs, and this was an AI-powered NVMe SSD. We successfully launched on Indiegogo. It was a top 1% campaign on Indiegogo. I don't know what the date was, maybe 2 years ago. And the last one is a company called Pitch, where you get to sing with the artists that created the song, and those artists or those singers teach you how to sing their song. And that's a bootstrap app. So we have equity in 4 of these companies. We bet on these. One of them failed. Put into the chat the one that you guys think has already failed and gone out of business. So type in A, B, C, or D. Interesting. Priscilla, why do you think D? Another D. Wow, 2 Ds. B. All right, good. Another B. Another A. Oh, wow. Philip picked A. Interesting. All right. So you guys are all wrong. It was C. So we made 4 bets, right? We made 4 bets, and C, which is the one we thought was going to succeed. We're like, oh, this is a no-brainer. Gaming's exploding, cutting-edge AI. You know, this is going to be amazing. Anyway, totally failed. Our investment gone, right? So now we have 3 horses in the race. Hopefully, one of those 3 is going to pan out for us, and we're going to continue making investments over time. So, and my last little bit about entrepreneurship for you guys is your homework. So it's amazing how there are like 3 killer stories about entrepreneurship on, and I'm trying to remember, the one on the far left on Apple TV, the one on the right's Hulu. I don't remember what the middle one was, but there are 3 stories. These are mini series. The first one is about WeWork, how they went and became a $47 billion valuated company, an absolute, total unicorn. Second one is Super Pump. There's a battle for Uber, another unicorn there around the same time. These stories were built around the same time. And last one is Dropa. That's the Theranos story. So your homework, if you guys have not watched these TV series yet, is to go and watch all 3 of them. They're absolutely fantastic. Okay, so let's dive into this. So I'm gonna start off with the preference poll. So before we dive into this, the disclaimer is you guys need to buy a watch. This is the scenario. You guys need to buy a watch, and the ones I'm about to show you, you can afford all of them, okay? And they're not collectible. So as we go through, I'm gonna give you 4 different examples. I want you to put into the chat which one you would pick. There'll be 2 options. So in the first one, on A, on the left-hand side, you have a Timex. On the right-hand side, you have a Rolex Submariner. So of these 2, I'm gonna tell you that the Timex, it's much better in terms of quality, in terms of durability, in terms of keeping exact time than the Rolex, and it's much cheaper. I want you to put into the chat which one you would pick, A or B. A, B, okay. Wow, it's pretty split. Interesting. And there's no right or wrong answer. Okay, I'm gonna be using this throughout the presentation. All right, good. Philip is the Timex, awesome. Okay, next one. Now, what if I told you that the right one's the same one, it's the same Rolex Submariner, but on the left-hand side, it's an identical counterfeit. It looks the same, it feels the same, everything has been identically counterfeited, and it's much cheaper. It's a fraction of the cost of the real Rolex. It's a Folex. Now, type into the right, are you gonna pick C or B? They're stuck. I don't see a single A yet. All B's, wow, interesting. B, B, B. No one wants the counterfeit. It works just as good. The quality, everything works just as good as a Rolex, but it's a Folex. Okay, all right, good. Let's do 2 more. Okay, now what if I told you that you have 2 Rolexes? Okay, they're exactly the same, they're identical. Now the one on the left is, if you see the little blue check mark at the top, this is from a Rolex store that is verified, right? They have the verified blue check mark on their account, so they're a legitimate store. But they're like, you know what? I don't have the certificate of authenticity. Versus on the right-hand side, you buy it from some store or some person, they go, oh, hey, here is a paper certificate of authenticity. This is a real Rolex. Okay, D or B, pick one and put it into the chat. Oh, there's a couple of D's. Interesting. Okay. Okay. Another D. Awesome. Okay, I'm kind of curious. So if you guys don't mind, whoever put D, like Aaron, Armagon, or Abraham, or Alfredo, sorry, why'd you guys pick D? You have a certificate of authenticity, and this guy just has a blue check mark on their Instagram account. Do you mind sharing why you picked D? Any of you guys?
Was is the D option you buy it from the Rolex store directly?
No, it's a store that has a blue check mark on their Instagram channel. So,
B, you're buying it not from the Rolex store, but they give you a real certificate?
Yeah, neither one are from the Rolex store.
Oh, okay, I misunderstood.
Yeah, sorry. Yeah, neither one from the Rolex store. I'm gonna put that next time. Thank you for that. Thank you for the clarification.
Yeah.
But one person's like, hey, I got a certificate of authenticity. Another one's like, oh, I got the verified mark. I don't have the certificate. I'm curious to see why you guys picked D.
I think in that case, I might actually switch to a B, to be honest.
Okay.
Because you have the real certificate. And I think given the real certificate, you might be able to trace it back to the real Rolex store. So you can really verify versus D, they just have a verified Twitter account. That's pretty easy to get.
Awesome.
I thought you meant
good.
like you bought it from the store. So yeah, I might switch to a B on that one.
Okay, good. I'm gonna clarify that next time too. Thank you. Okay, then the last one is, what if E had an NFT that certified the authenticity of it? Would you pick E, or would you pick the paper certificate of B?
NFT all day.
Interesting. Okay. Oh, well, there's a B. There's a B. Oh, interesting. There's still some B's here. Yeah, I'm definitely starting to see people pick E. X. There are a couple. Oh, wow. Mainly B's though. Okay. All right, good. Like I said, there's no right or wrong answer. I've just been trying to figure out, when I do these classes, which way are people? What's the preference for brand and validation, certification, and authenticity? All right, thanks, guys. All right, so that's why we're here, right? We're trying to figure out a simple method to create a great customer experience by evoking the right emotion at the right time. Who's this for? If you guys are a marketer or a creator, so as entrepreneurs, you're probably gonna be doing both, right? Or you're gonna be working with marketers or working with creators, and you want to influence preference, which means you want them to choose your product or service or your brand over someone else's. And at the very end, you want to save time, money, and energy. So, instead of wasting time trying to figure out, hey, what is the right color? What's the right creative? What are the right words? What's the right direction for these things? Hopefully what we do today will be kind of a cheat sheet to get you pointing in the right direction of what the right thing is and what is good for that step in the process. So it's really hopefully to decrease some subjectivity. Okay, so what's on the agenda? 3 things. One is gonna be an introduction to customer experience. So some of the basics. I'm gonna be sharing with you some work that we did for our client called Cyber. It's a gaming PC brand. And lastly, I'm gonna give you guys an overview of our our dose method, kind of our lens at the customer journey and how we create customer experiences. So when you think about experiences or brand experiences, it's really all about the people. So you may have heard the term brand experience. That's where you're talking about 3 different groups of people, either customers or your partners or employees. When we're talking about CX, we're talking about just that top version. So the top part of that Venn diagram, which is the customer experience. And that's what we're going to focus on today. So does customer experience matter? Is it valuable for businesses? Well, don't take my word for it. Take a look at, these are sources from Forbes, Oracle, and Qualtrics. And they're saying that 81% of customers will pay more for better customer experience. It didn't say better product, right? They're saying that the better experience is going to have consumers paying more for that product service. 70% will stop buying from a company that has bad customer experience, and 64% will switch. So we're seeing that the best product doesn't always win, especially now. And we have data to back it up. So in the chat, What's the one thing you guys need before you can build a great customer experience? Put something in the chat. One thing that you think you need before we can start building a great customer experience. A need, great one. Great one, Street Stop. The customer, okay? Thanks, Aaron, thank you, good. What else do we need? One thing before we can start a great customer experience. And there's a little bit of a hint with the shoes. Customer, wireframe, good, definitely. Okay, a product. Analysis of customer pain, yes. These are all really good. The idea, excellent. Incentive, good. Solid team, yes. Thanks, Janine. Passion, Priscilla, agreed. Communication skills, which is part of what we're doing today. Okay, it's empathy. We need to have empathy from you guys are hearing a lot about empathy. Oh, you got to have empathy. So I want to break it down for you guys. I'm going to break down how we figure out what empathy is. But first, let me give you the definition of how we define empathy. And it's right here. Empathy is you need to know who wants what and why. Who wants what and why do they want it? So that is how we're going to define empathy today. And that's what we're going to figure out how to do. And I'm going to show you guys the process of how we get to this. So does this look familiar? Who wants what and why? So one of the first things I try to figure out today is who is this audience? Who are you guys, right? Well, I'm saying that you guys are entrepreneurs, but this is really about the marketing hat or the creator hat you guys are wearing. And what do you guys want to do? What do you guys want? You guys want to influence preference. You want people to choose your brand. You want people to choose your product, buy your product and buy your service. So you want to influence preference. And lastly, you want to do it in a way that doesn't cost you more money. You want to save time, money, and energy. So this is going to be the hack or the cheat sheet or the shortcut to getting you guys there. So how do we do that? How do we create a simple CX framework? There's going to be 5 steps. I like rapport. Yeah, rapport is great. Thank you, Angel. Number 1, we're going to select a market segment. Number 2, create an MVP or customer persona. Create an empathy map, create a customer journey map, and then we're going to repeat, right? Measure, optimize, and repeat. So let's dive into the first one. So select the market segment. As I mentioned, we're going to be using this as a case study. So this is our client at our agency called Cyber. We launched the brand in 2014, and this is what the product looks like. This is, if you're not familiar with it, this is a gaming PC case. These are 3 different models. It's a medium, large, and extra large PC gaming case that we design and market for our client. And just to help me understand your level of gaming experience, put into the chat window, I'm assuming most of you have played the game, but in the chat window, tell me the last game you played. And if you played it on a mobile, console, or on a PC. And then I'll try to select my language accordingly and analogies. Mobile chess, nice. Skate 3, nice, okay. PS4, console. All right, where are the PC gamers at? Drive Club, console. Any PC gamers in the crowd? PC Fortnite, there we go. Anyone else? How about you, Philip? What are you playing? Okay, so I'll stay away from PC gaming, game of life, PC, okay, nice. All right, so here we go. So one of the first things we do, we want to take a look at market research and find the market segmentation. So these are all gamers, right? So all of you who wrote down your answers, you fit into one of these 8 market segments that have been put together by a company called Newzoo up in the top left. So for all of you, as you guys are trying to figure out your market segmentation, and you want to focus in on a certain segment of the market, you can go out and get research for your industry. A lot of it is free out there. Some of you have to pay for. I'm sure Philip can probably help out with some of that market research, but figure out how the market is already being segmented by the professionals. And that's what we did here. We went and took market research from Newzoo and figured out, hey, of this, we don't want to try to boil the ocean. We want to try to figure out how we're going to, find that one spark and really, focused on satisfying the needs of one person in the gaming community. And we focused on the gamer in the bottom left corner, who is a PC gamer. So he's called a hardware enthusiast. And there's a lot of data and research on this market segment that we used to create a customer persona. So we took that hardware enthusiast, and then we went in and did our own research. We created what we call the MVP customer persona, or a most valuable persona, or something we call it a minimum viable persona about that one customer. So this is an example of what we did. The gamer that we picked, we named him Gary, and he's a grown gamer. So he's not a teenage gamer. He's a little bit more mature. You'll see here that we have him at 25 years old. He's a professional. He has a job, lives in Pasadena. He has a real salary. These are the brands that he likes to spend money on. And what we're really trying to do here is figure out what are his core values. Where is he in life? Is he a teenager who needs his parents to buy things, or is he a little bit older, has some more disposable income? Like, where is he in his life? And what does he value? And in doing this, in trying to figure out what he values, it's really looking at two things. If you look at your customer's calendar and figure out where is he spending time on the internet, off the internet, before work, after work, at work, and then figure out where, like, take a look at his checking account. Where is he spending his money? When you take a look at where he's spending his time, where he spends his money, you'll know what he truly values. So those are some of the things that you're trying to pull out in these customer personas. And then the second step is going to be, or the third step is to create an empathy map. So once you know who it is you're focused on, you want to find out what are his needs, right? Who wants what? So now you know who it is. What does Gary want? And what we do here is we plug it into an empathy map, and you'll see in the pink bubble, it says, I have a need. So at that moment of need, we try to map out, what is he looking at? What are the websites? What's he saying? Who is he talking to? What is he thinking at that moment of need? Who is he listening to? What is he feeling when he has a moment of need? So we take grown gamer Gary, what we realize about him is that he, at his moment of need, he wants a new gaming PC. He wants a new computer to play his games on. And we wanted to figure out, why does he want that? And why does he want, what are the things that are going to determine what he wants? So you'll see here, we talked about, we documented, what are the questions he's asking? We documented, where is he going to look for his answers? We documented who is he listening to influence his decision? We documented, what are some of the things that he's saying to his friends and his colleagues to get the answers? And at the end of the day, we're trying to figure out at the very bottom, why does he want this gaming PC? And you'll see here, what we landed on is, well, he wants a gaming PC so he can connect with his friends. That's one of the main reasons why he wanted a gaming PC. And the second thing is he wanted to have a pre-built gaming PC. He didn't want to build it himself, which is perfect for the customer that we were going after. So now we have answered who wants what and why. So this grown gamer Gary wants a new gaming PC, and he wants it so that he can connect with his friends. Great. So now we go to step 4. Now we can start creating the experience. So let's take a look at customer journey maps. So I typed in customer journey map into Google, and you see here there's a lot of different versions of customer journey mapping. Some of the words you may hear are, service blueprint. You may hear product journey map, customer journey map, user story map, user flow. They're all kind of saying the same thing. And in doing a little bit more digging, this is one that came up called today's customer journey map. And you see what they did here is they broke it up into 3 different sections: awareness, consideration, and purchase. And then there's a bunch of dots here that show a movement from the left of inbound through consideration, a bunch of that. Well, that was pretty confusing. So I said, what else is out there? And then I found there's an app called Rocket Source, where it kind of goes through these steps across the very top. You see awareness and consideration, acquisition, engagement, talks about cognitive association, cognitive biases. Anyway, it got super complicated. You could tell with journey mapping, you can get super geeked out on this stuff. We're not going to talk about that today. You guys are entrepreneurs. You guys need to have a quick solution to get your journey map completed so you can start managing and improving your customer experience. So I'm going to show you guys a 4-step customer journey map. Hopefully you guys are feeling a lot better now. So the main thing here, you're going to start with the moment of need, and you're going to move through, these are 9 steps. I want you to focus on 4. And the 4 I want you to focus on are these right here. Oops. Seek, choose, use, fix. So moving from left to right, first you have the moment of need. So Gary had that moment where he said, I need a gaming PC. The first step is he's going to seek a solution to solve that need. So he needs a gaming PC because he wants to have this great gaming experience and connect with his friends. So he needs to go out and find solutions to that need. And he's probably going to find multiple, maybe there's 5 different companies that offer gaming PCs that can satisfy his need. Then he'll move into the next step, which is choose. He's not going to buy 5 gaming PCs. He's only going to buy 1. So he needs to choose of those 5, 1 brand that he's going to give money to and then get that gaming PC. After he purchases that product, purchases the gaming PC, he's going to use it, which is step 3. And that's going to be the onboarding, which starts with the open box experience. It goes on to starting up his computer, getting in and loading up the games, and actually going and having a gaming experience with his friends. So that's the whole onboarding and use step of the process. Now at that point, there's 3 things that can happen. He's going to have a wonderful experience with this cyber gaming PC, and he's going to fall in love with the brand, hopefully be loyal and buy more of that product in the future. Or he's going to have a terrible experience, and he's going to leave and he's going to write terrible reviews, and he's going to want to return the computer, and we've lost a customer. Or it's going to be somewhere in between, where there's some issue with that experience. He's having some sort of problem and he needs to fix it. You know, maybe it's not starting up properly. Maybe he's not sure how to load the game. Maybe you know, it's you know, some minor problem, like maybe he didn't plug in the gaming PC, so it won't start. Whatever that is, he's somewhere in between loving and leaving the brand. He needs help, and that's going to be step 4, which is fix. So those are the 4 steps we're focused on. Let's talk about each one. For step 1, the feeling that we want to give the customer is the feeling of thrill, that they can solve that problem. They can fulfill that need with your brand, with our client's brand. Step 2 is when they're going into choosing one of those 5 options, we want to be the brand that feels safe to them. So it's a feeling of safety. And what we want them to say is like, oh, I trust you. You're of those 5 brands, you are the lowest risk for me. I'm going to choose your brand. Then they're going to give you money and they're going to get your product. And then when they actually use your product, the feeling that we want them to feel in step 3 is dominance. So we can also say this is the feeling of success. They had a wonderful open box experience. And they had success in using your product, and they feel a sense of accomplishment. And then we talked about there's 3 options after that: love, leave, or there's an issue. So in step 4, if there's an issue, there's a problem, you need help, you need someone to fix it. How do you want them to feel? You want them to feel relief or feel no pain during that last step. And what's interesting is in going through this process, we've noticed that each of those steps are actually, we're actually triggered by a different molecule, a neurotransmitter, and those 4 are dopamine, oxytocin, serotonin, endorphins, and that's where we get this DOSE process. So DOSE are the feelings that we're trying to trigger. And actually, I'm looking at the time. I'm going to try and hustle through a little bit because we do have some more slides to go through. Okay, so I'm going to pick up the pace a little bit to push through. There's 3 main parts of the brain: the human side of the brain, the monkey part of the brain, and the reptile part of the brain. And what we're going to focus on is the monkey brain. So this is the Triune brain theory, and that's the emotional side of the brain, or the feeling side of the brain. And as Joe Rogan says, you know, we're just talking monkeys on an organic spaceship flying through the universe. So we're going to be focusing on that, the monkey mind, the monkey side of who we are, because that's what drives our emotions and helps influence our preference and decision making. And this is it's really based on millions of years of evolution. So don't think about what's motivating you today, but let's figure out what motivates the monkey mind. So go ahead and type in the chat box. What do you think? What is the core motivator or motivators of the monkey mind? Go ahead and put it into the chat. Thank you, Street Stop. Yeah, nailed it. And that's it. Yes, for survival. So when we're talking about the monkey mind, it's all based on the survival, and it's really the survival of our genes. So things that are going to help our genes survive. So the more that we understand about this monkey mind and what motivates the monkey mind, the more that we can influence it. So let's dive into each one. Let's talk about step one. So the feeling of this is the feeling of thrill that they're going to be able to satisfy their need with our product. And that's with dopamine. So dopamine is, they call it the molecule of more, or this is something where you're looking for satisfaction for something that's outside of your body. It's external. It's the external thing that you want that you don't have. You can think of it as the after state, the desired future state that you want. So this is, you see here, we're showing a golden banana to the monkey because this is something that he wants. This is this ideal state, this ideal thing that's going to make him survive for his future. So this could be, if we're talking about for your customers, we could be showing things like, showing them status, or showing them achievement, showing them being part of a community, or being in a relationship. We could be showing relief or comfort, different parts of the customer journey map that I showed you. And by showing them that desired future state, showing them that golden banana, that's what's going to motivate them to move. Other ways to think about, what's going to help you understand the feeling of dopamine. It could be as simple as, you guys sitting on the couch and you guys wanting an apple that's in the fridge. That feeling of you getting off the couch is dopamine giving you that motivation to move and get off the couch and go grab that apple. So anyway, let's go and dive into some examples. So this is one right here where we already went through this process where you're comparing Timex to Rolex. Why did you guys choose B if you picked B? Was it seeking, is there something about the Rolex that made you feel that you were going to be successful, making you feel like you were going to be able to, achieve something and survive, or is it something different? Well, let me go into another example here. So this is an ad from Nike, and let's take a look at this right here. So what is it about this ad, and how do you feel when you're looking at this ad? Let's say if you were going to go buy a new pair of sneakers, you're looking for a new pair of running shoes, and this ad is being shown to you. So I'm looking at this. Is this showing you a desired future state? Is this showing you something where you, yes, good, thank you, and hope, yes. Right, so this is aspirational. This is something that is outside of you, right? This is something that you may want that you don't have. And what's interesting about why I picked this one here is Nike even puts the word tomorrow in there. So when we're talking about, dopamine being something where it's showing you something that you don't have, showing you something that you want in a desired future state. I mean, here's Nike actually putting the word tomorrow on there. And obviously this is Fraser Price, who I think she was Jamaican, but I know she's like one of the greatest sprinters of all time. So aspirational and showing you a desired future state is what we want to show our customers in step one. So how did we take that? Actually, another point I want to bring up is research actually shows that the color red also triggers dopamine. So something to just kind of take in consideration when you guys are creating content for step one. So what did we do for cyber? So for our brand, what we did is we ended up sponsoring one of the top professional gaming teams when we launched the brand. So This was on the first ads that we ran. And what I want you guys to notice in this ad is we don't have the product in the ad, right? We're selling a gaming PC, but in the ad, all we did was we put a tagline that says, you know, winning isn't everything, it's the only thing. Cyber, official sponsor of Evil Geniuses. And then we put a photo of the team. So we wanted to show an aspirational future state for everyone who wanted to buy a gaming PC. Would you want to be, you know, a top gaming pro? And we didn't even show the product. We focused on the aspirational future state of the emotion of what you would have after you purchase our product. And I'm not going to go into being short on time. I'm gonna skip some of the stuff, but we ended up doing, you know, commercials showcasing 2 of the top pros. These are the guys with their team. They made, you know, $6.6 million during, you know, one gaming tournament. They're basically like the Lakers, and this is like, you know, Kobe and LeBron of the esports industry. And we did some commercials and ads with them, which I'm not going to show you guys. But I do want to ask you guys, think about when you guys are creating content and giving an experience during that first step for your customers, when they're seeking a solution to their problem, what's going to be that golden banana that you can show them? Okay, step 2 is going to be safety. So for step 2, after they've gone through the excitement of knowing that your product can deliver on that need, they're going to have multiple options, and they're only going to pick one. You want to be that one brand that they choose. So in that step, the feeling that they want to feel is to feel safe. You want them to know that they've chosen one that comes from their trusted tribe. And the molecule there that we're trying to trigger is oxytocin. They call it the molecule of love. But the monkey mind here is looking for that trusted tribe. They're looking for safety in the herd. They're looking for a sense of community, looking for familiarity. They're looking for something that is that's going to decrease their risk. Something that's going to be similar is what they consider safe at that point. Something that you guys may notice when you see certain ads or certain posts that feel cringy, that's like the exact opposite. So, you know, being authentic to that tribe is going to make you feel good. The opposite of that is that cringy feeling, which is not authentic, and that's your body, your mind telling you that is that's unfamiliar, that's the enemy, that is dangerous and probably unsafe. So let's go into the example that we showed with the Folex and the Rolex. You know, it was interesting. The majority of the people did pick B on this one, even though the Folex was identical and it was cheaper. The majority of you picked the Rolex. So I'm not going to go into diving into that right now, but think about why. Why did you choose that Rolex over the Folex? Was it emotional? Was it logical? So here's some examples of what Nike's doing. So look at the words here. The words that Nike's, where all athletes belong. Are they triggering oxytocin? Are they making you feel? Are they making you feel like this is a trusted tribe for you? Are you making you feel like this is a safe brand for you? They're making you feel that, hey, if you're an athlete, this is where you belong. This is your community. This is your trusted tribe, right? They're absolutely doing that just with words. What do we do for our client? So in taking that concept that we wanted to trigger this feeling of love and trigger oxytocin during that second step of the customer journey map, we had a TV show called Cyber TV, and we would bring on guests from big brands that were very familiar to gamers. And one of the biggest brands for gamers is Intel. We would have employees from Intel to come onto our show and talk about the Intel product, how that Intel product was inside of cyber. So showing that familiarity and showing that we're part of that community. Also doing sponsorships with big brands like HTC Vive that are very well known. And then, step 2, you have no idea. The customer journey map is non-linear anymore. People are going all over social media and to different events, and there's no linear path to achieving the goal of buying your product. So we need to be omni-channel. We're at events and we're on social media, and we're trying to figure out where we can touch and connect with our customer based on where they are in their customer journey. So also, using language here, talking about gamers first, talking about asking our customers to come and join the cyber family. Another side note on, there's research that shows that blue actually triggers oxytocin. And is it coincidence that 40% of Fortune 500 companies use the color blue in the logo? Maybe, is there a reason why the verification or the blue check mark for Twitter and Instagram is blue? Maybe. So I want you guys to think about, for your brands, what are the things that you can do to find a way to be showcased as the trusted tribe to your MVP, to your customer persona. Step 3. So step 3 is the feeling of dominance, which is primarily being triggered by the molecule of serotonin, also known as the success molecule or the hormone of success. So I put here, a golden crown. So one way to think about the mammalian brain is that monkey mind is trying to have status or success or be dominant over other people in their tribe. So they want to feel a sense of accomplishment. They want to feel that they are special. They want to feel like they're the VIP. They want to feel a sense of one-upmanship. So in knowing that, it kind of goes back to our poll earlier. When you're picking Rolex over Timex, for the ones who did pick Rolex, was there something about that made you feel that you were one-upping the others? Was there a sense of status? Was there a sense of success? When you see others wearing the Rolex over the Timex, is there a feeling you have about that person, about having those same type of attributes? That, recognition and pride and being verified and being successful. So some examples, from Nike, this is where we talked about the feeling of dopamine, wanting something that is outside of your body, wanting something that you don't have, that's not within your reach. When we start talking about serotonin, it's more about the feeling of having something that you do have. So it's about success, it's about confidence, and that feeling of confidence and success comes from something that you do have, something that you have control of. So you'll see with this campaign here, it's not about showing them something about tomorrow where you can achieve this in the desired future state. It's saying, be like Mike, be like me. I could be like Mike. I now have that confidence. Now I have that success. So in trying to apply that to our client, cyber, some of the things we did here, one example was, instead of showing them a desired future state, when they would open a package and get their, when they would unpack their gaming PC, part of that was, writing messages to them, welcoming them to community, but also giving them gifts like, a t-shirt to show them that they're part of this special group. They are now a VIP and they stand out from the crowd. We also invited them to special events. So we made them feel that they're a part of this exclusive group. Also, we had different programs where they would be exclusively invited to online insider information, to different lounges and different educational programs for people who purchased the product. So as I showed you earlier, the icon that we used here was the crown, making your customer feel the confidence, feel like they've achieved success, make them feel like they're king of the jungle. What can you guys do to make them feel that they are a part of something special and exclusive? And finally, last step, as we're coming down the wire, I know I'm rushing through these things right now, is relief. So if someone is coming in and they are having a problem, they've gone through your open box experience, they've tried your product, they haven't had a great experience of loving it, they haven't left, it hasn't been terrible, they're somewhere in between, so they need help, they need to have something fixed. So the feeling you want to give them is a sense of relief. And endorphin is what gives them that feeling. So if you think about the monkey mind, it's, you know, when you're feeling pain, that relief is what's going to help you have a sense of survival. So, you know, what are things that you can do to give them a sense of relief, to relieve that pain? Some of the things you could talk about are, you know, there's a guarantee, there's a warranty, there's going to be a return policy, there's insurance. So you don't have to worry about feeling the pain if you're ever in trouble. A great example that I think about is going to the W Hotel. When you go to the W Hotel, the concierge, it says they offer a whatever, whenever concierge policy. And if you've been there, you guys understand, you actually get whatever, whenever you want it. From how we applied it to our clients' marketing is we showed them that there is a lifetime technical support available to customers. There's a 3-year warranty. Everything is hand built here in the US. You know, we really focused on building out the customer support team. So the call wait times were less than 3 minutes. There was self-help. There was AI and automation available to get them so they're not feeling any pain. So what can you guys do to relieve pain if there's any issues that your customer's having with their experience with your brand? So does this work? So these are the numbers, right? Proof is in the pudding. So along the left-hand side, you see the retailers that have purchased cyber products over the years, the top retailers in the country. And you see that in general, the curve is going up and to the right based on the number of units sold. So finally, you want to measure and optimize and repeat the step 5 in the customer framework. And this is how we do it. We create a customer journey map and we map out if you go across the top, we map out the 4 steps: seek, choose, use, fix. And then going down the left-hand side, we want to understand what are the actions, what are the touch points they used to complete those actions? How did they feel when they went and experienced it with your brand, with our brand? And then what are the opportunities? So down at the very bottom, this becomes your action item list on how to improve your customer experience. So in summary, these are the 4 steps that you want to focus on to measure and manage to improve your customer experience. DOSE. Think about showing them the golden banana, showing them something external that they want, that's going to improve their chance of success and survival. For step 2, give them a feeling of safety, of a trusted tribe to select you over the competitors. Step 3 is make them feel a sense of success. Make them feel like VIP. Let them know that they made the right decision in choosing your product when they go through step 3 of your customer experience. And lastly, if there's issues, you want to give them the feeling of relief. So dose your customers with the desired emotion during each step of the customer journey, and will help your business to win on this new battlefront by getting your customers addicted to the positive feelings associated with your brand. And I believe that if we focus on giving the right feeling at the right time, we're actually spreading more golden rule around the world, right? We're treating people the way that they would want to be treated. So I say, let's give more golden rule and let's have less ruled by gold in our marketing. And that is it. I made it just under the wire. So rush through a few things, but things you can look at online are, if you want to learn more, look up hashtags like customer centric, customer experience, personas, journey map, CX, and dose method. If you have more questions for me, you can scan my code right here and I'll answer any questions for you. And we are done. So,
wow,
a little bit of a sprint towards the end.
Great presentation, Tony. Really liked it. I like that you just took it down to very bare basics. We don't need those intricate algorithms, but just going right to the source. Going right to the chemicals in our brain and just go right to it. I like that. Do you have a few moments for Q&A, by the way?
Oh yeah, I can stay. I just want
Okay.
to respect everyone's time and finish up by 1 o'clock. So
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, for those of you who have questions, obviously go ahead and grab that. Well, I was gonna say that QR code in there and look Tony up. I wanted to also let everyone know, if you're interested in learning more about our startup incubator and how we help startups have a bit.ly that goes to kind of like a little link tree. Actually, tells you a little bit more about what we do. We have a whole bunch of things there, and of course, you can just connect with me directly. So for those of you who have questions, feel free to open up your mic and ask Tony.
Yeah, or let me ask you guys too. I'm curious. So what are your thoughts on this dose method? If you could put it into the chat. I don't have it all figured out. I'm learning as well. I'm learning with my team. I'm learning from others, trying to figure out how we break this down. So I would love to know, what was most memorable? Was there anything that needs more clarification? And is there anything there that you guys can implement immediately with your startups?
I think it's a pretty logical process. Like it's pretty like just down to the very important points, and it's very logical. It makes sense that if a customer is looking for a product or a service, the first thing they're going to do is look for it, and they're going to have to choose one and kind of go through that process. And it's just, if you're able to stand out among all the different products, I think it makes a lot of sense why they would choose you. And once they do, you need to retain that customer. So I think it makes a lot of sense. I think it's helpful to me a lot. So thank you.
Awesome. You're welcome.
Yeah, I think it's definitely something I can implement, at least part of it. The emotional part, I think, would be pretty, it sounds simple, but if we can break that down now, then I think we'll be onto something.
Awesome. Good.
I'm kind of curious, how long did it take you guys to create your most valuable persona? Like, what was the process of doing that?
So with the persona, there's we can do a persona. I also consult for the SBA through the SBDC, and we do sessions, and this is something you guys can do too. If you guys are looking for help, free help for this, you can go to the SBDC, and we have scopes of work. We'll take you through a customer journey map and create an MVP for you in 1 hour sessions. So an MVP will be a 1 hour session, a customer journey map will be a 1 hour session, and you guys can get it completed. Just one thing to think about when you're creating a customer journey map, for example, there's two main ways of looking at it. One is a current state, another one is a future state, or you can call it, aspirational versus actual. So when you're creating the aspirational version, it's much easier because you're meeting with your group, you're meeting with your stakeholders and trying to figure out, hey, what is the desired future customer experience you want? What is the aspirational or ideal customer experience you want them to have? Doing the actual version, it's a little more difficult because now you're talking to actual customers and getting data and feedback from them. But if you're just going to do the aspirational, idealistic version of it, you could do it within an hour. Another thing to think about is there's not a lot of strategy when you're creating it. It's really about documentation. You're just trying to document the journey. You're just sitting down and putting on a whiteboard, doing a mural board, putting it into an Excel spreadsheet. All you're doing is you're documenting the journey so that now you and your team, or you and your marketers, or you and your creators can point at something. Now there's something that you can visualize, and now you can manage it instead of just having it in your head.
Yeah, and you said you can do that in an appointment through the SBA?
Go to the SBDC.
SBD.
And they have scopes of work. They have consultants that will take you through this process.
Oh, that's cool. Thank you.
Typically, you're welcome. Typically, the MVP is an hour, and then the customer journey map is an hour. But they'll be doing aspirationals. They're not going to do. They won't do actual. They won't do research for you. But if you can sit down and do the aspirational version, or ideal version, or future state version, typically